Hi, I'm Amanda Blair and here I am in St Francis Xavier's Cathedral. You can probably tell from the beautiful amber light behind me that I'm somewhere pretty special. This of course is Australia's oldest Catholic cathedral and it is such an important part in many people's lives in South Australia. Many of our more important events have taken place here in St Francis Xavier's Cathedral. I for one got married here. And whilst I got married here, I don't actually know that much about it. So I'm going to find out more. Okay guys, so Dad and I are about to take you into St Francis Xavier's Cathedral, which is where we got married, and I was running late, as most brides do run late on their wedding day. And we walked down the aisle with the Archbishop and it was absolutely spectacular. 8 years ago today.
So just where you're standing is where Bishop Murphy was buried in 1858. So some important people, they didn't bury in cemeteries, they buried in important buildings. So just here is where Bishop Murphy is buried.
And so he was the first Bishop of Adelaide?
Yes. And in fact, in the entire square of Adelaide, there are only two people buried. There's Bishop Murphy and there's Colonel Light. All the other burials are outside of the square. He was the inspiration behind this cathedral being built.
Yeah.
The first bit was really just this central part. Extra bits have been built on in various times since, and it's still going. And I think that's the thing about this cathedral, is that it's bound up in Adelaide's history. So at any point in history, Catholics are donating money, tradesmen of the time are doing great work to build this building progressively.
It's because of its position. I know lots of people, including me, that just pop in from time to time just to sit down in a place of peace. Like, it's just so peaceful.
Just below us now, you see people, families, lighting candles, sitting quietly down the back. This is some of the benefactors of the cathedral, and each one of those is a story in its own right.
Yeah.
For example, Miss Lena Lewis, it was her bequest that led to the purchase of the bells.
So Philippa and Saskia, I've just seen you ring some bells and it was absolutely amazing, and obviously there's a bit of a difference in your age. How old are you, Philippa? You don't have to tell me exactly, but...
I'm 83.
You're 83, and how long have you been ringing bells?
Over 50 years.
What do your other 83-year-old friends say when you tell them that you're a bell ringer?
I think I'm nuts.
And Saskia, what about you?
So I've been ringing for about 17 years.
How old are you?
I'm 30. I enjoy it. And it's like Philippa said, it's the combination of physical and mental, and it's like it's a team sport because there's a person per bell.
How important are the bells to a church such as St Francis Xavier's?
Well, they're really the public voice. They announce to the community, to the city, that the church is here, and it proclaims the glory of God to the city.
Archbishop, tell me, who was St Francis Xavier?
So Francis Xavier was an early member of the Jesuit order and was recruited directly by St Ignatius of Loyola when he was a student in the University of Paris.
Really?
And he then became one of the earliest members of the order, and although highly intellectual and very talented, really committed himself straight away to become a missionary far away from the centre of life in Europe. People come here in both times of joy and sorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, in our cathedrals, you find people in tears because of something that's happening in their life. At other times, you find people who are just bubbling over with joy and enthusiasm and so on. And often when I stand at the door of the cathedral after Mass and talk to the people, they're the sorts of things you find out. People say, please pray for me, my mother died yesterday, or I have a daughter who's very ill, or a young couple come up, bursting with great joy and excitement and show you the engagement ring and announcing that they've just been engaged a couple of days before and so on.
So how does it feel when you're here giving a service or a Mass as the Archbishop?
Every time that I come in, whether it's at Mass or times when I'm just here on my own praying, I have a very real sense of being surrounded by these people who've gone before us. not just the Bishop and St Mary of the Cross of McKillop, but all those thousands and thousands of other people who've been here, all of whom had a story to tell, and many of whom made wonderful contributions to the life of the church and the community by the ordinary things that they did in their daily life.
And Archbishop, how do you think Bishop Murphy would feel about his church now?
It's beautiful because of its structure. It's beautiful because of the history that it encompasses. It's beautiful by the way that it's nourished this community of faith here in the Archdiocese of Adelaide. And I think it's not only beautiful for now, we have an opportunity to take what has been given to us to enhance it and then to move into the future.